From Daytona International Speedway, the road course, let's make some history. Monkey Mafia eSports Super Formula is underway, and already some jostling towards the back as Red leads them to the start-finish line, and away we go. Electric Blade to the inside of El Cochi as they make their way into turn one. It's going to be nearly side-by-side between them. Electric Blade files in behind Hector alongside Hotspot there, going through past the pit lane and in through towards the International Horseshoe. It looks like Hector's going to try to want it on the inside. Who was that? That was Ray Ray. Oh, Ray Ray's going to get hit from behind from Undercover Brother as he sat there. War as well trying to get involved. It's wheel to wheel as they make their way towards the Horseshoe corner here. To the side is Undercover Brother, and he'll take the 7th spot away. Looking up towards the top end of the grid. Red gets away very well indeed. He is in control of this one for the time being, followed by El Cochi with Electric Blade not that far behind. Hector in 4th, Hotspot in 5th, Say in 6th, Undercover Brother 7th, 8th Ray Ray, and he's under pressure from War as they make their way through NASCAR 1 and 2. War trying the outside for the time being, is not going to be able to get that overtake done, but will now attempt to use overtake mode as we go back closer to the top. Electric Blade on the outside, Hector down to the bottom on the way into the chicane. That's a great move from Hector. Hotspot's gone up the track. He'll have to serve a half a second penalty for that one when they get round the corner. Red still leads. Hector, El Cochi 2nd, Hector 3rd, Electric Blade 4th. There's the penalty for Hotspot. Say's going to get around him. He'll be decelerating here as well as Undercover Brother. Those two actually going to be quite side by side here on the way to the tri-oval and back in towards turn 1, wheel to wheel. Hotspot's going to file in line. Undercover Brother's going to take the 6th position for this one. Let's see if that number 55 car can do anything about it. Round the outside, way deep into the corner, nearly off the track. No, not quite. A lot of jostling towards the back, as we see now. Ray Ray trying the outside of War as they make their way towards the International Horseshoe. Simeon holding off Crash and Chris for the time being. Red still in the lead, followed by Cochi, Hector, Electric Blade, and Say is the top 5. Making their way onto NASCAR 1 and 2. Electric Blade is going to have to do a lot of defending here. Say in behind. Will he potentially try the outside? No guarantees. Say still trying his best, holding within line of that number 93 car. Let's see if Say chooses to do anything here. Looking to the inside of the chicane, wheel to wheel, and I think he's made that happen. Yes, he has. Say up to 4th with a very gutsy maneuver there into the chicane. There's War, back end of Undercover Brother. Tries the outside, no luck there. Very narrow section of the track this. Not a lot of ways for overtakes to be made. It's Undercover Brother a little bit slow on the apex of the corner there. War following in behind. Double left-hander coming up before NASCAR 1 and 2. Going to get away pretty evenly. I'd say actually War probably has the advantage, making their way into the banking. Using overtake, as you can see. Be able to use the slipstream enough to potentially make an overtake here on Undercover Brother. Oh, he's going to be close around the outside heading into the chicane, and it's not going to happen. Undercover Brother's going to go a little bit wide there. Oh, and he's slightly lost some position there. War may have a chance here. Trying it potentially around the outside. That's Simeon, not too far away as well. 3-car battle here for the 7th spot. Simeon down onto the apron, up into War, trying to find his way in through the middle. He'll actually file his way back down to the bottom. Simeon now a 1-second penalty. I wonder if that was for using the apron. He's going to pull off the track there. Good battle here for the 3rd position. Hector trying to hold off Say as best he can. Making their way into the right-hander. Say down to the inside. It's quite a lunge there from Say, but he's made it happen. Oh, and no, he hasn't. Say has gone into the grass on the outside. And he's going to lose the position as well to Electric Blade. Down to 5th for Say after that mistake. Red's going to lead them back round, exiting NASCAR Turn 4, headed towards the tri-oval. This looks like it's on for a personal best here from Red, and it is 1:37.02. Fastest time of the race so far. battle here. Say and Electric Blade side by side, exiting the banking towards the infield section of the track. Wheel to wheel they go. And Say does take that inside. Electric Blade still trying to find his way. And Say is actually going to get around Electric Blade there. Not necessarily comfortably. It was a good fight there from Electric Blade, but not quite. A little bit further behind, Hotspot is going to try to hold off Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother does seem to be charging quite a little bit, though. Hotspot being a little bit careful here. Wide through that corner. Undercover Brother, as we mentioned, not all that far behind. Here's Ray and Crash and Chris, this for the 8th position. Towards the double left-hander before NASCAR 1 and 2. Let's see. Chris was going to try it up the inside there. Ooh, a lot of wheel spin on exit there for Ray before the banking. Chris may have a serious look here. Will he potentially try the outside? He's going to file right in behind that of Ray. Oh, look at this. Right on board, as you can see. Which way does he decide to go? As he tried the overtake it all into the chicane. Now he's actually going to get off the gas quite early. Crash and Chris looking for the outside now on Ray through the tri-oval in towards turn 1. And I think he's going to get that one. Still wheel to wheel, still side by side. Chris around the outside, it does appear that he's taken that one off of Ray for the time being. Nicely done there from Chris. Although Ray not finished quite yet. Look at this here, Say and Hector wheel to wheel. Towards the double left-hander before NASCAR 1 and 2. This may allow Electric Blade into the fray as well. We'll go on board with Electric Blade here. As Hector in his sights, Electric Blade will choose the outside, not even needing overtake for the time being. Wheel to wheel, rounding NASCAR turn 2 as they head towards the chicane. Electric Blade actually lifts off the throttle there. Will he commit to an overtake this time? Oh, I'm not too sure that he will. No. Once again, and the fact that Say was able to hold off these two drivers behind speaks to the testament of the pace that he does have today. Wheel to wheel, round the outside goes Electric Blade on the outside of NASCAR turn 4, and looks like he will take this position, albeit only just and only for now. Hector not all that far behind, nearly wheel to wheel as they cross the stripe to begin lap number 7. But further behind, it appears Hotspot is under pressure from Undercover Brother in towards turn 1. Hotspot goes wide. Not sure if there was contact there, as you briefly saw Electric Blade actually had gone off track. Undercover Brother is going to give that position up. I didn't believe there was contact made there. Undercover Brother thought perhaps that he did. Oh, and Undercover Brother goes round. He's in the grass. Well, that was a very unusual incident there. Undercover Brother had given the position back to Hotspot, potentially did... Oh, and there's contact there! Oh, goodness me, he's just rejoined the track unsafely. What I was about to say was that there was contact made there, potentially, between Undercover Brother and Hotspot. And Brother had given him that position back, and then having exited that right-handed corner, dumped the throttle, and as he got back on track, totally got in the way of one of the other drivers. Was it potentially War? I'm just trying to see. No, it was that of Crash and Chris. You can tell by the damage front left of his car, which has since been repaired. But that was very detrimental indeed. Hotspot with another half a second penalty here. So, hurt a little bit of his time. He's got quite the distance back to Crash and Chris in P7. But for the time being, kind of in a world by himself here. Electric Blade potentially trying to make a move on Hector. Oh, Say has gone a little bit wide there. Say has gone quite wide there, as a matter of fact. Somehow gets that car back under control. I have to assume that we're coming up on the pit window here very shortly. You can see on Say's MFD here, as well as Hector and Electric Blade, all about a quarter of a tank left of fuel. 21 laps this of the Daytona road course, and it'll be interesting to see what strategies are made. Drivers required to use the soft compound and then one other tire. They are allowed to refuel. however much fuel they decide to use, and however their tire strategy is in play, that's up to them, as long as they do use at least one set of the soft tires. There's Simeon and Crash and Chris potentially having a battle here towards NASCAR 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, Crash and Chris does not have the best go of it. Simeon's actually going to look to take him around the outside here. It's going to be wheel to wheel between these two. Up the banking. Let's see, can Crash and Chris hold on from the charging Brit behind him of Simeon? Let's see. Around the outside is going to be that number 17 car. And is he going to be able to make that move happen before they get to the tri-oval? Let's see. Crash and Chris is almost going to try to force him up the track a little bit. There is contact being made there. Oh, a little bit sideways. That was Crash and Chris. Both of the drivers saved themselves there from total atomic annihilation, as they're still wheel to wheel, having come off the banking and into the infield. And it looks like for now Simeon will take control of that 7th spot, be it only Justin, not without the contact there between himself and Chris. Battle for 4th here potentially. Hector leads Electric Blade momentarily, as we are about halfway through this one. Electric Blade looking around the outside. Or was he going to try something into the chicane here? That'd be a hell of a move if he did. And oh, they're still very close indeed. Electric Blade has had a couple of those today where he wants to have that move into the chicane. And I think just the, the outright veterancy of Electric Blade to know that if he tries something into the chicane like that, and it's not absolutely bang on perfect, that it's going to be bad for both drivers involved. So I think that's why we're seeing him be a little bit tentative there. No tentativeness here. Around the outside, overtake being used. Electric Blade to the 4th spot as they hit the start-finish line and in towards turn 1 as they come off the banking and into the infield. Hector still trying his best on the inside. A bit of wheel spin there on acceleration for Electric Blade. He holds the spot for now. Hector almost into the grass on the outside. Into the right-hander. Oh, maybe some contact there. Hector up the inside. So he keeps that 4th spot. Very close indeed. As you have to assume by looking at the tire wear and the fuel in the bottom left of your screen, and we'll be seeing pit stops relatively shortly. We'll have to wait and see what Red does from the top spot. He's actually doing a little bit better on fuel. He's managed to save quite a bit here. Still doesn't look phenomenal on tires, but on fuel, I'd say he's maybe got another lap or 2 left. He's looking to the outside. Oh, and that's going to be the leader. That's Red into the pit lane. Yes, it is. Still, I think, had enough fuel for maybe 1 or 2 laps more. But definitely only 1 lap. Not that much, surely. But into the pit lane comes Red. It'll almost certainly be a set of the medium tires for him. Let's see, pit stop coming up here. Fuel on the way. Let's see what Red decides to do. Everybody in the top 7 comes in. Simeon, Crash, and Chris both stay out. And it will be medium tires for Red. Simeon in 2nd. Coach on his way out as well. I believe he's taking mediums, as well as Crash and Chris. And here's Coachy and Crash and Chris side by side here. And that's Say in the picture as well. 3-car battle for the 3rd spot as they exit the pit lane. Wheel to wheel between Say and Coachy. And Say to the inside of Crash and Chris as well. Chris has gone quite wide on the entry to the corner. And Say is going to take that 3rd spot. Beautifully done there indeed. Onto the banking he goes, and it has to be said, Say with some incredible display of pace. Hot spot fresh out of the pit lane here, finds himself behind Electric Blade by a considerable ways. Electric Blade is actually still in that battle with Hector. Hasn't found a way to be able to get around Hector for the time being. Let's see. Does he try something now? Still has a little bit of a peak with the slipstream being used into the chicane again. Nothing to be had there. Electric Blade holds on tight for now. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top here. Hector once again still holding off the charging Electric Blade once again into the chicane, and Electric Blade doesn't have anything for it. Not for the time being. Tough to say, I'm not sure. And yes, he does have a half a second penalty. We check on the battle between I thought was Hotspot and Simeon there for the time being. Simeon seems to have fallen slightly farther behind as Hector... Oh, and Hector into the wall! Exiting the chicane. I don't believe there was any contact there. That's going to allow Hotspot to take the 5th position. Oh, Hotspot, I think, has just gone deep there. And yeah, Hotspot's got a half a second penalty now. What's going on here? Around the outside of Hector. They'll be forced to slow down this time, as it appears Say has eventually taken the lead from Red. We follow on here for the time being with this battle for 5th. Hector is slow headed towards the tri-oval, as Hotspot takes the 5th spot. Started this race in P5 as they make their way down towards turn 1. As, oh, that was Simeon and Hector getting very close indeed there. Maybe a little bit of contact between those two. Tough to say. So Say has the lead. He's taking it from Red. Red has pretty much led this race from start to finish. Kochi a little bit far behind those two. Electric Blade now more or less by himself in 4th. The closest battle on track is currently being headed by that 55 car of Hotspot, as Simeon treads in behind, as well as Hector. Go along with Hector here. Simeon gets quite loose there, exiting the corner before the banking. Let's see, perhaps, if there's a move to be made. We'll actually check back with them in a little bit. As Red, oh, I tell you what, Red was gaining there on Say, but has since taken a half a second penalty and has dropped even further. Not all that much left to go in this one. Hotspot in through the chicane. With Simeon not far behind. Let's see what Simeon tries to do here. Hotspot keeps hold of the bottom. Simeon trying to go wide. Hector seems to have fallen off the back of this one. These two are nearly wheel to wheel. Exiting NASCAR 4, Simeon left, right, and center. Simeon will eventually choose the outside as they cross the start-finish line at the tri-oval. Entering turn 1, Hotspot brakes a little bit deeper, nearly taking the tires on the inside there. Got the corner as close as he possibly could, and that holds Simeon at bay for the time being, as they both make their way into the right-hander. Simeon having a look at the inside. Hotspot going a little bit wide there, maybe trying to find a little bit more acceleration. He's going to hold him off for the time being. Good little battle here amongst the midfield. Simeon's still in very close proceedings here. Red seems to have actually fallen a little bit further behind that of Say. Say's actually going to have a half a second penalty here. This could definitely help Red. Say has taken the penalty. Red is now closing in. Is he going to get close enough here to make something happen? No, not quite. Worth a look. Hector trying to get back into this battle for the 5th spot. Between Hotspot, Simeon, and then himself. Simeon once again nearly onto the apron. He'll try to go back to the outside. We're going to be wheel-to-wheel again, exiting NASCAR turn 4. Let's see what Simeon chooses to do here. He'll try to go the long way around the outside. Wheel-to-wheel as they go through the tri-oval. Simeon has taken that spot, but Hotspot's going to have the preferred braking line into the corner on the bottom. Let's see if he can hold the spot. He'll get 5th back temporarily. Simeon still all over the back ends of that 55 car. Simeon's going to have to work here. Chooses the outside. Hotspot brakes a little bit earlier. Keeps it close to the apex. Oh, Hotspot's had some wheel spin there coming off the corner. And I think Simeon's actually going to be looking to take this one around the outside. Still wheel to wheel. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Simeon into the grass. And yeah, Simeon is going to take that spot up to 5th. A great battle ends up with Simeon taking that 5th spot. And the battle for the lead still. Once again, a half a second penalty here for Red. That is just ever so allowing Say to walk away with this one. Of course, it's not over yet. Electric Blade in a world of his own. Coach in 3rd. Electric Blade in 4th. Simeon now with the 5th spot, although not without the due pressure from Hotspot and Hector. Let's see if potentially something can happen here. As Simeon leads them through the chicane. Hotspot again goes deep in through that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be a half-second penalty here for the 55. And yes, it is. So that's going to pretty much allow Hector to have the position. Hotspot's going to pull to the outside and allow Hector the room to be able to make that overtake happen. Last little bits of overtake being used. Hector down to the inside, and yes, he's made that one happen. Hector up to 6th, Simeon to 5th. And into the corner they go. Oh! Goodness me, Hotspot has actually shunted it into the tire barrier on the exit of pit lane. He's trying to go too close on the inside of the corner, and the front wing has clipped the tire stack. We saw him do that a couple of laps ago as he was defending against Simeon. He's gone way too close there. As he tries to regain his composure, he is down in 7th. Doesn't appear that he's going to lose any additional position from that, but still slightly embarrassing. Say making his way down the backstretch for the final time. And, well, you wouldn't want to necessarily call it domination because he has had to work for this one. But since he took the lead, he hasn't looked back. As unfortunately it was penalties that could have cost Red the victory here today. He's tried his best, but unfortunately it's going to be all for naught here. As out of NASCAR 4, down the short chute and towards the tri-oval, Say is going to take the inaugural victory of Monkey Mafia eSports Super Formula. Red will finish 2nd. Kochi will finish 3rd. Good result for him. Electric Blade seems to be coming around the line for 4th. Very good for him. Simeon, I tell you what, has fought as well, tooth and nail, for this 5th position that he will earn today. Hector in 6th. Looks like, oh, I think Hector might be out of fuel, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it looks like he is. That car's slowing down, 135 mile an hour on the banking. As Simeon crosses the line, he'll take 5th. It's Hector out of the corner. Yeah, he's definitely run out of fuel. Hotspot's exiting the corner now. This one could get rather close. Coming to the line. Hector, is he going to cross first? Hotspot on the outside. Oh, my goodness. And he gets him still somehow.